I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Okay, next up, Gillen. Ray is probably the most notable as the singer for the Baylands, which was the band Jake E. Lee formed after leaving Ozzy's band, and his Baylands that we will be listening to tonight. I really like the way you write, Mojo. But Ray...
Badlands? It's Badlands.
Okay, Badlands. I'm sorry.
Baby.
But Ray also did a short stint in the mid-'80s with Black Sabbath. All 3 of the singers featured tonight have a connection with Black Sabbath. John Olivia's connection to Sabbath is that in the mid-'80s, there was a period where Savatage was close to breaking up. At this time, John was all set up to go to Europe to become Black Sabbath's next singer, and his brother Chris, R.I.P., was about to leave for California to join Megadeth. Whoa.
Wow.
Long story short, the band didn't break up, and John backed out of the Sabbath gig at the last minute. Sometime after John backed out, Sabbath recruited Ray Gillen for the job. It's uncertain if Ray got the job because John backed out. The singer slot in Sabbath was a virtual revolving door during this time. In addition to Sabbath's connection with these three singers share, John and Ray were friends and on Savatage's Hall of the Mountain King record in 1987. Ray sang backup vocals on the classic track Strange Wings. There's actually video on the YouTube of Ray performing the song live as a duet with John and the band. Perhaps a reaction for another day. Sadly, Ray passed away in the early 90s, R.I.P. This last song is a banger from the Badlands' first record released in 1989. This is a fan-created video syncing up live footage with the studio recording. Enjoy. Oh.
Wow.
Nice. All right. Badlands, Devil's Stomp, y'all, for the 6 Degrees of Separation Classic Metal live stream, hosted by the big homie Mojo.
Why did he call it 6 Degrees of Separation?
I don't know. I thought that we were...
I think it's guys that have been in other bands.
Yeah, probably. But
the guy was in Savatage.
Yeah.
And then he was in Deep Purple, then he went to Sabbath. Mm-hmm. So I think it's that they... People that went into different bands, I think, is the theme.
Yeah, but what is the phrase 6 degrees
6
of
degrees
separation?
of separation is that basically you can get to anybody in the world.
That's right.
Which
yeah.
Is probably 4 degrees of separation now with the internet. All right, here we go. If you know me, I'm a pretty connected individual. If you want to know musicians, certain folks in the military, certain folks in the government.
If you want to get to know Vin, join me on
football
Patreon. I forward
players.
Messages to him all the time.
It's true. There's a video I'm actually supposed to watch later on, which we will. Okay, here we go. Black Sabbath. No, not Badlands, Devil Stomp. Let's do it.
time to think things over, to heal my soul and ease the pain. And through a glass of revelation, I could swear I heard the darkness call my name. Imagination's running far too long. The mind we're lost can read the senses wrong.
Perfect. Perfect.
Need a shot of realization. I can't believe the things I've seen. 'Cause down the bar sat the devil man. As he turned around and smiled, he said to me, he said, "Hey boy, I know what you're looking for. It feels so good to be so bad. Just take a chance, step through my open door." Lord! Now, boy, I know you're all so young and the whole shines in front of you. But I can't give you anything you want, and I make it so easy for you. All I know is what my mama told me. All I know is what she said. When the ends of my feet sneaking up on you, best be dancing on his head, yeah. Lord, to the devil's star. Oh, it made it sound so good, stealing my soul every way. The devil's price hangs on my soul, a pocket full of gold his way. All I know is what my mama told me. All I know is what she said. When the elves of fun be sneaking up on you, best be dancing on his head, yeah. Lord, to the devil's star.
This is live. Look at that guy's here. Holy shit. You see that guy's here?
Oh, bright in the shimmel at the moonlight house. Oh, feels so good, you know the beat's so bad. You've been holding that baby for much too long. And I'm feeling creepy right in my bones. Yeah, Lord, to the devil's star. Do it.
That is some real good metal. That is some real good metal, dear listener. My favorite thing about that was these guys were rock stars and they knew they were rock stars. They dressed the part. I cannot tell you how annoying it is to me when these people show up and act like regular people. You're a freaking rock star. Act like a freaking rock star, sir.
Good God.
Wow, you feel very strongly about that.
It's Badlands. That's the name of the band.
Yeah.
I do feel strongly. I really, really do. It's supposed to be a show. Get us a show. Go ahead.
Babe, did you think they had a country sound to them added in there?
They had a kind of southern, kind of.
Okay.
I kind of felt like a southern atmosphere in there.
Yeah.
I also felt like there was some of that. I don't know. It's because of the look, but the Led Zeppelin guy.
Oh.
He sounded like a little bit of like that Led Zeppelin guy to me as well. Somebody help me out with the Led Zeppelin guy's name. He sounded like
why am we
that style.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the guitar riff. I was here for the freaking guitar riff. I like those. They're kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. I call it Jeep metal.
What?
It's
Jeep?
Like, yeah, it's like the white kids down south. They'd have their Jeep. It was all muddy, and then they'd be blasting some southern rock.
Yeah.
Like that type of shit. Like you hear that riff.
One of these guys.
Down.
Jimmy Page? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I have Led Zeppelin rock band up in.
Just put Led Zeppelin singer, honey. Good Lord. Robert Plant. Okay, there he is. Robert Plant.
Oh, that's weird because Robert Plant right there.
Yeah, he's the number one guy. He said he plays harmonica. That's his instrument.
Okay.
Yeah, like it felt like that, it felt like southern rock. I don't know if this is a southern rock band, but that's where I kind of was during the song.
Yeah, I can
was
throw
in
in a deal on
Florida,
that. Yeah.
hanging out. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah. So
And the thing is named, the Stomp.
Devil
the
Stomp.
Devil Stomp. And it kind of made you do that. It made me anyway. It made me do that.
She probably doesn't know we're live.
Yeah.
We're live. We can't answer.
We can't answer. Go ahead.
Okay.
Shout out to Becky.
So let's yes, loves and hugs.
Yeah.
Let's explain to me what the lyrics were because I actually didn't watch the lyrics at all. I was, more interested in seeing the video.
Okay, let me put the lyrics up there for everybody.
I needed time to think things over, to heal my soul and ease the pain, and through a glass, a revelation. I could swear I heard the darkness call my name. Ooh. Imagination's running for too long. Oh yeah, the mind we lost can read the senses wrong.
I need a shot of realization. I can't believe the things I've seen, because down the bar sat the devil man as he turned around and smiled. He said to me, hey boy, I know what you're looking for. It feels so good to be so bad. Just take a chance. Step through my open door, Lord. Now, boy, I know you're oh so young, and the whole world shines in front of you, but I can give you anything you want, and I'll make it so easy for you. All I know is what my mama told me. All I know is what she said. When Beelzebub was sneaking up on you, you best be dancing on his head. Lord, do the devil stomp. Oh, he made it sound so good. Stealing my soul every way. The devil's price hangs on my soul. Throw a pocket full of gold his way. All I know is what my mama told me. All I know is what she said. When Beelzebub is sneaking up on you, you best be doing the dance. You best be dancing on the devil's head. Oh, words that'll simmer like the moonlight house. Oh, feels so good, to be so bad. Been holding back, baby, for much too long. I can feel it creeping up right in my bones, and he's about to do some shit.
Oh.
So this is him at a bar.
Well, when he says do the devil's stomp, he means stomp on the devil's head?
Yeah, like resist the devil. Resist the devil and he'll flee. But I think his ability to resist has been weakened.
I believe so. By a young lady?
By a young lady and some alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol
when we were
in his
kids,
blood system.
They taught us a song in Sunday school. You can, I could beat up the devil, black and blue, and the Holy Ghost is going to
get you too or something.
Get the devil out of you or something
shit.
like that. Yeah, and I remember singing that so many times and picturing beating up the devil because, and I really, really, really like that because I felt like the devil was pretty bad. At the same time, I prayed that life would get better for him. So this is interesting to hear it
Holy
in a song like this.
I guess the singer in this band, very good looking guy who gave a lot of women HIV. Damn. Well, there it is. There it is. Good Lord. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like once people are in that situation, the more I see of humanity, the more I'm people aren't going to tell other people if they have some problem
Yeah.
from,
They're
they're
not
not going to tell somebody else. And that's like one of the things that you tell the kids. I'm like, listen, that's one of the reasons why you should wait until you're married, because when you're going to actually commit to somebody, then you could have that conversation with each other and you know what you're walking into. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah. But prior to that, like if somebody's not planning on committing their life to you, and it's just going to be one of those situations where it's like, do this tonight. I remember sitting down with a girl that was horrified because she had gotten something that was never going to go away from one of her partners, and she was like, what am I going to do? Nobody's going to marry me. No, I mean, she did. She ended up getting married. She had kids and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
she found somebody that was willing to say, you know what? Let me throw in with you on that. Or maybe he already had the same thing. Who the heck knows? But at the same time,
Very likely
it's just
that he was suffering under the same ailment. Considering where he was in the circles that he frequented.
It's very possible. But I think that's really boy, that's pretty selfish.
Well, and it's crazy because if it's that guy, he's talking about the temptation to go hook up with some girl at the bar. Like, that's the irony of the song, is that he's...
Wait, why is that ironic?
Because the song is about him trying to stay away from temptation and trying to stay away from, cavorting and doing all these sexual trysts. But by the end...
Whenever you say the word cavorting, it's always so funny to me. It sounds so old-fashioned.
By the end of the song,
yeah,
he's basically going to give in, which art imitates life. I mean, I don't care what... It's fascinating because what you said about the biblical take on sex and how to manage your sexuality. It's like, oh, here's God just like sucking
ruining
the
your
pleasure
fun
out of everything, and then it's like, yeah, well, that girl at the other end of the bar, her life depends on whether or not she follows those prudish commands.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. There's that.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Like, people never talk about that when they talk about sexual liberation. They always want to talk about how suppressive and oppressive Christianity is, as if complete unbridled sexual mania is also not oppressive and suppressive of people.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. It's crazy to me that that a guy who knew that he was infected with the disease.
Oh my God.
Especially, when was this been around? Late 80s, early 90s? Yeah. You're still in the 80s, for God's sake. So, when it was in the 80s and early 90s, that was a death sentence. Like, it was a death sentence.
Awful.
It's not like now where people are basically living with it. I mean, we're not going to say it's cured, but it wasn't like you're going to die in 5 years' time and disintegrate in front of your family. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, for him to do that in the 80s is insane to me.
That's so crazy.
Because that means he knowingly was going to kill these girls, basically.
Yeah. It's crazy, too, because his first thing was, I needed time to think things over, to heal my soul, ease the pain. And through a glass of revelation, I could swear I heard the darkness call my name. So it's crazy because he's like trying to take a reprieve to heal himself.
Yeah.
But then he's going to,
Look at that. Their album sales were withdrawn due to the AIDS deaths that he caused.
Holy shit.
And Steven is right. They should have just given the royalties to his family. But, I mean, how many of those people, and then how many of those people did those people sleep with?
Oh, yeah. Because there's got to be a certain period of time before you know that you're infected, that you've passed it to other people. And then there's going to be a whole bunches of people that... And this is part of the problem with feeling like just because you have some inclination that you should satiate that.
Very good point. That's 100% right. Just because you feel that doesn't mean you should do it. And this is and they're talking about the devil, guys. So I'm sorry, it is what it is. But it's really true. Like when and this is something I tell the kids all the time. Anytime God makes a law, he does it because he wants to minimize suffering and maximize pleasure.
Yep.
In the ultimate sense, I think I can defend that pretty good with the Bible and with my own experience in life and observations of other people's experience. But how we manage our sexuality, to me, is one of the clearest indications that the mores, the sexual mores that you find in the Bible, or the society that a New Testament sexuality would create, and an Old Testament sexuality, because there's very explicit sexuality happening in the Old Testament, particularly in Song of Solomon. You're talking about description of breasts, description of reproductive organs, and how awesome they are, and how tasty they are, and all the rest of it. And then, you know, when you get to the New Testament, it's more restrictive, actually, which is interesting. The New Testament actually has a more restrictive sexual ethic than the Old Testament does. That's very fascinating.
That is interesting.
So that's something I'll be thinking about. But when it tells you, particularly women, to manage their sexuality, it's these among millions of other reasons. There's the physical contagion, there's the social contagion, there's the psychological contagion. I mean, it is just such a... And like, one of the things that's the saddest thing in the world to me is, in order to justify secular sexuality, they've taken all the transcendence out of the act itself.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, this guy... Yeah. He understands that hooking up with this girl is something deeper is happening than just two Homo sapiens in the reproductive act. Like, he understands that something bigger is happening at the bar, bigger happening between him and this woman, and he doesn't have all the nomenclature for it. He's calling it the devil and all the rest of it. But he's understanding that this moment that he's about to spend with this woman is very, very significant. But we've completely bled out sexuality from all of its transcendent, amazing spiritual nature. It really has. It really, really has. He knew he had symptoms in 1986. This song was written in
3 years later.
1989.
Yeah.
So this is very real. He
that's
knows
really terrible.
that he's infected with HIV, and he knows that girl across the desk, her life is going to be ruined.
Oh, that's so awful.
And he's struggling as to whether or not, he's literally struggling, should I kill this girl tonight? Literally, that's what he's struggling with. It's unbelievable to me. The darkness,
the
in the
level
human
of
soul.
Selfishness, unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. But you know what? I'm certain that God has used this song and the lyrics in this song to stop somebody from doing some crazy shit. Probably stopped a bunch of somebodies from doing crazy shit, because that's how God works. So, but I'm just blown away by this guy's selfishness. I gotta tell you, like, I need time to think things over to heal my soul and ease the pain. So the way that he's dealing with his impending death is a bunch of alcohol, drugs, and sex. And on the one hand, like, I think it's a real... You've got to be a really horrible, despicable person to do that. But on the other hand, people fight like they train. And what that means is, whatever you fall back on when you're stressed is what you're training, literally training your brain, new neural pathways, all that shit, to do.
Yep.
So this guy got himself in a cycle that anytime he's upset, he's going to go to some drug, he's going to go to some girl, he's going to go to his music.
Yep.
So he's living this great lifestyle, and that's his pattern every time he's in trouble. Then he gets some horrible call from the doctor. You're HIV positive. Now he's stressed. What's he going to do? Drugs, drinking, and sexuality goes along with that. I'm not excusing it. I think it's horrible, and I do not feel very confident for the state of this man's soul. Although, knowing the God that I know, he could very well be up there. Unbelievable. But he could be up there. But, like... It's mind-boggling to me, like, just when you look at human frailty and weakness.
Yeah.
Where I'm sure he wouldn't say, yeah, fucking kill that girl. But at the same time, he's caught up, and he all this shit is swirling around him, and he doesn't have the self-control to stop it, and it's the only way he can medicate his pain in his mind. But he knows that what he's about to do to this girl is satanic. It's just a Whew.
I think this line too.
It's a mind-boggling.
Whether or not I'm reading this line
amazing
correctly as
song.
for how he wrote it, it says imagination's running for too long. And then he goes deeper into the song. That was like within the first 5 lines. And your imagination and your mind is a lot of times a starting point for a lot of evil shit or a lot of good. So depending on what we're thinking about and we're spending our time, letting our minds kind of like fall into, that's gonna, a lot of times the evil things that have happened, like for instance, there's this thing that they used to tell us, like, people will think X amount of times before they actually cheat on their significant other. They'll think about it.
Holy shit.
It was a lot. Like whatever the number was for men, I'm pretty sure the number was more, that women will think about cheating a lot more before they actually do it, and a man will think about it less before he actually does it. But still, the genesis of that cheating was in the mind. And I think that a lot of times I think that that's the genesis for a lot of evil. And, people start thinking about horrible things, and then, they start Googling that stuff, and, then all of a sudden they have inclinations toward raping other people, killing other people, doing stuff like that. But it started in their minds, and then like more and more steps get taken toward you get closer and closer and closer to doing that X, Y, and Z thing that's wrong to do. And if we don't exercise self-control in our minds, and we don't exercise self-control with all the other steps that follow, then inevitably death will follow. In whatever sense of it, it's going to follow in your life, in someone else's life. It's going to bring more pain to your life than you would have had you exercised the self-control.
Yeah.
And that's true of both parties, right? So he was spreading that AIDS around, but at the same time, the girl was in that situation as well because she wasn't exercising her own self-control. Whether that was because she wanted actual sex with him, maybe it's because she had a lust for power and she saw him as someone who could potentially, skyrocket her toward fame, fandom, fame or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody has their reasons for why they do them. And I think that a lot of times we have to look at why, stop and think about what we're going to do and what are the implications of what we're going to do. And sometimes it's not what will happen if I do this or that thing, but thinking what will happen if I don't do this or that thing is important to think about as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it's a
really good point.
It's a thought-provoking song, especially given what you said. Like, he was symptomatic 3 years before. 3 years later, he's putting out this song where he's clearly still having a problem with it. And, literally RIP to the people that were in his path because he refused, to whatever degree he refused to exercise that self-control. Other people had to suffer and other families had to suffer for that, which is absolutely tragic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty tough. Pretty tough stuff.
Overall, I wasn't really a fan of this song. Like, the sound of it was not really for me. I'm gonna give this one an 8.6.
This is one of those songs where I would have loved to have seen this one live. I just love the guys' hair.
Well, you half saw it live.
I love the hair. I love the stage presence. Mm-hmm. I'm a sucker for live shows. I'm a sucker for live rock and roll.
Right.
And I'm not going to let... I don't really know how I feel about this guy. Disdain, whatever it is. God knows if the person who infected him knew if he or she was infected too. I don't know. There's probably a whole subculture of... There should be a... I could come up with a really dark serial killer...
Oh my gosh.
...type story and subculture, right? But
that's so creepy, yo.
That's a whole other ball of wax. Horrible shit.
Yeah, that would be... Yeah.
But I do...
Honestly, you would be such an amazing, Netflix series writer.
And just sit down and just write.
I know.
I'm just going to lock myself in a room and write for 5 hours.
Yeah, I think that when we...
I really need to do that.
Probably the next phase of our life, when that phase takes off, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for
I think you're right.
Artistic expression and stuff.
I think you're right. All right, so this is going to be 9.2 for me, actually.
Whoa, you still scored it really high. So you like that Jeep music, I guess.
No.
Then why did you score it so high?
I don't like Jeep music, and I don't like this guy. But overall, I thought the song was slamming as
Weird.
hell. It was really
Weird.
slamming. There wasn't one dud in this entire selection. Granted, there was only 5. But, yeah, that's my honest score. You guys know how I am with ratings. I don't play around. Mojo, it was just it's a good, solid song to end on. The other thing is, like, if I was in a concert, this is one of the things I think about. I don't tell you guys. But one of the things I think about for the first song and the last song is, does this fit in a concert? In other words, your first song has to be a banger, get your energy up. Your last song has to be not only a banger, but just something that the entire crowd can participate in for a good send-off. I never talk about that, but it's true. Like that goes into my head because I look at it like a set list. And the way that Mojo created the set list, it was just perfect. Because you had that soft song right before. I know I'm rambling. You had the soft song right before. Then you had this stomping, like, crowd heavy one. It was just perfect. I loved it. All right. There you are, dear listener. Another DJ streaming the books. You don't have any pressure to be like DJ Mojo. If you come with a song selection of your own, I'm sure we're all going to love it. We're all going to jam to it. I was just saying, shout out to our DJ. Shout out to the big homie. And he deserves a couple of these, don't you think? Don't you think
especially for that 4th song. It's
couple of
definitely
these?
my favorite. I really, really like that one. The Born Again one.
Boo boo. Yeah, I think Born Again was probably the song of the night. Probably.
Yeah, but I really like Dr. Butcher. I really, really like that band.
Yeah, you did. You really did.
All right, you guys, have a good night. Thanks for chilling with us. Hopefully we'll get better soon. And I still think we came through with the energy, even though we weren't feeling it. But the thing is, we had good music. So if it would have been some trash music, would have been Bach all night. What the fuck would I have done?
Amy left early.
I know. I saw that. I was like, I'm not going to do that to her, but it must be said.
Actually, it didn't need to be said.
She sent me another one for me to listen to. I might listen to it and put it up on Patreon.
Oh, you're going to react to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have a Sori secret reaction. A secret reaction.
It's not going to be a big, massive breakdown. It's just going to be like whether I liked it or not.
On Patreon. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.